I think it's time we learn how to braid our own hair. If I was able to go from this to this, so can you. Now, in no way am I saying that I'm an expert, but I do feel like I have a beginner's input. I posted this video on TikTok and it blew up, and the amount of comments that I received saying that they actually learned how to braid their hair with this video, I can't tell you how happy it makes me to read things like that. So I thought I'd bring that over here. All right, let's learn how to cornrow and add some hair. First, it's very important to learn the finger positioning. You will be using index and thumb. Next is having a good edge control to apply to your section, because this will allow for a much better hold and control of the hair, especially for when you're practicing. I realized it worked out so much better for me braiding under. This means that once you have your pieces, your index finger is always going to go under the middle leg of the braid and pinch the following piece with your index and thumb. You pull that middle piece hanging to tighten your braid, and then you repeat. Index finger going under the middle leg of the braid and pinch the following with the index and thumb. Repeat this pattern because essentially this is what you will be repeating over and over. Once you feel that you got that down, it's time to start adding some hair. I usually will braid that pattern that we practiced 3 times, and on my 4th stitch, I'm ready to add some hair. With that free hand that you got, you're gonna pull the hair and slice up a section with your other index finger, and you're going to add that to the index and thumb. That hair that you added now becomes a part of the original 3, and you will once again repeat the same pattern that we've been practicing, only stopping to add some hair. Remember to pull that middle piece, because this is what's going to keep your braid tight. If not, it's going to come loose. And here's just a different angle of that same technique in a different braid style. I also ensure to prep my hair before braiding, as in making sure there's no knots and stretching it out, so that when it comes time to braid, I'm not running into knots. Now, when adding hair, you have to think about how thick you want your hair to appear. I'll pull out a hair that matches the thickness of the braid I want, and then I will divide that into 3, and those will be the pieces and the thickness that I will be feeding in. To feed in the hair, I like to grab the piece like this because I find it much easier. And that braid pattern and finger positioning is again all the same, except that now I'm sliding in the hair in between my index and thumb, and this hair is now becoming a part of the original 3. Once it's added, you have to treat it as if it's a part of it and keep braiding like you normally would. You keep adding pieces as you see necessary depending on how long you want the hair, and always remember to match the hair you're feeding in to the thickness of your section. For knotless braids, I will only do the braid pattern once, and then I start adding hair. So I'll do this 1 stitch, feed in the hair, do another stitch, feed in the hair again, and you can repeat more than 3 times if maybe you want a longer braid or you want a thicker braid that goes gradually, but I usually stick to 3 to 4. If you add in your hair much later in your braid, or you add a piece that is much thicker than your section, this is what it would look like, and see how it looks all weird? That's why I prefer to add smaller pieces earlier on in my braid. Every time that I braid my hair, I feel like I do it way better than the last time, so practice really does make perfect. Parting is usually like the hardest part, but because you can't really see the back of your head. Learning how to cornrow and actually feed in pieces has been game changer, because there's so many styles that you can do that require that, and so it helps you save a little bit of money, you know what I mean? Especially in this economy. Anyways, I hope that this was truly helpful, and I will see you guys in my next one.